Definitely. Let's jump into, now that we brought up pitfalls, where do you think projects break down the most?
I think the biggest thing that breaks down in projects is communication. Just not letting the homeowner know the expectation, or setting that expectation from the get-go. Communication is one of the key points that we actually point out in our first and second visit with our homeowners, and something that we strive to go above and beyond to make sure that that homeowner is in contact with us every step of the way, whether it be through us on the sales side of it or through the project manager. We have an online calendar tool that we utilize, as well as being able to talk back and forth with via text, via phone call, email with our homeowners on a daily basis throughout their project.
That is such a great encouragement too, because I think on the projects that do break down are the ones where there's not communication between the customer and the contractor.
Yeah, even if we try and get that daily communication out, even though we have our online schedule system, even though we send a lot of text messages, emails, and we talk to them by phone, we have usually arranged site meetings that are set up through the project, there still seems to be things that can slip through the cracks. So developing that really good relationship all the way through the design and the sales process, it doesn't end there. That rapport with the client has got to continue on, and that's something we strive to always get better at. That's why we employ professional project managers, guys that really can get the job done, and they're not all bogged down by the white noise of trying to run the business as well. So having a dedicated professional project manager really enables that communication to be at least as efficient as it can be. We're always trying to get better. Six Sigma's our kind of touch point here. We're always trying to make sure that that client understands where we are in the process, what's coming up, especially with the decision-making processes, and communicate with them in a manner too that's friendly. It's on a regular basis, and it's not just informational, but it's actually, we understand they're going through a lot. They're spending a lot of money, and they're watching a house that looks messy in the first few weeks starting to come together. So follow that excitement, that emotional roller coaster with them.
Absolutely. I think, too, just knowing that, as we had talked about, the romance that you gain from this, and knowing that it is like a short-term marriage. So giving that expectation up front again, and letting the homeowner know, here is what to expect. Here are some of the pitfalls that might happen along the way. They usually happen with a lack of communication. We implore you to ask lots of questions. If you have a thought, don't wait until it festers inside your head to, send it at midnight and, oh my gosh, I should have asked that question when this was happening. We encourage our homeowners to ask whatever question it is that they have up front, because that keeps that line of communication open, and it lets them know that we're there to care for them regardless of what their thought process is through it, and it helps them understand the process and know we got your back 100% of the time all the way through the process.
So, and that's excellent advice as well. So just to give a few more examples, do you mind sharing a few stories of things perhaps that you've heard of projects that didn't work that maybe people have shared with you, some of the breakdowns and some of the things, maybe a couple tips for our viewers out there for preventing them during the construction process?
Sure. An example of something that can happen is ordering a cabinet, for example. We'll give a recommendation for cabinets and where to choose them, to ask for a lead time. Sometimes that doesn't always happen, especially with a basement. Putting cabinets in downstairs in a basement, it goes pretty quickly. A homeowner can walk into a showroom and find a cabinet that they absolutely love, and it's going to take 8 weeks for that cabinet to get in. The pitfall on that would be that we've set the expectation that we need that cabinet in about 2 weeks, and 8 weeks isn't going to cut it. So then they get frustrated that their project has been delayed, and they having to have that open conversation and letting the homeowner know, look, if you want to pick a cabinet that's going to take 8 weeks, set the precedence that this will delay the project, and there might not be someone working on your home during that time. But if that 8-week cabinet makes you happy, we want that to make you happy. And so setting that precedence that it's okay to choose that. We don't recommend it sometimes, but if you choose that, we will work with you to make sure that we can end on a happy note and kind of jump over that pitfall and get out of that little hump so that we can end up on top again.
Right, because then if you choose to get that cabinet and it's 8 weeks or 10 weeks out and it's coming from China, there's going to be a big hole in your basement where
Absolutely.
That cabinet is.
Absolutely. So does it happen? It does. And just finding a way to communicate that so that you can remind the homeowner, you chose the 8-week cabinet and we're okay with that. but knowing that it will delay the project so that that precedence has been set, and that then can help squash that pitfall so it's not an issue with communication through the process.
Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, we are finishing up with the basement and remodeling basics. This is presented by Blue Sky Remodeling. Today we talked about budget and timing and all the information you need to know, and we've been talking with Adam Rossi and Courtney Maynard. Do you have any last-minute advice for us as we wrap this up?
Wow, that's so hard to wrap that up now.
You like that? That was a lot.
I think it's just, gosh, do your diligence, do your research before the contractor comes out. Ask a ton of questions, take notes. Courtney and I provide a whole list of questions. We're even putting together a little idea kit that we can help send to them during this initial process to help them really understand, ask the right questions, be able to compare their contractors and understand value that we're bringing. And then do your due diligence during the shopping phases. Ask questions, communicate, and over-communicate. So I think it's all relative to just the homeowner taking a lot of responsibility to be very involved with the process because we need them to be, and we want to make sure at the end that they get that value out of the space that we're kind of committing to them.
And I think just communication. I can't drive home with that enough. If you ask the question and you keep that line of conversation open, you're going to feel confident regardless of the contractor that you choose to do your project because you have started that flow. And Blue Sky Remodeling is there for you, and we ask those questions and we implore you to keep that conversation going every step of the way.
Excellent overarching theme there is being able to ask questions and then feeling comfortable about it and having the conversation continue throughout the whole process.
Absolutely.
Great. So we covered the first meeting, we covered schedule, we covered the selection process, and pre-construction. Tons of great information today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Mia.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So we are finishing up with the Blue Sky Basement and Remodeling Basics. These are the people from BlueSkyRemodelingDenver.com. You can head over to their website at BlueSkyRemodelingDenver.com. They have an education tab. You can subscribe, and then, of course, head over to YouTube, and you can watch all the videos there. I'm Mia Voss, and we'll see you on the next show. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mia.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.